Welcome to the live session today evening. All right, so quick check. If you can see me and hear me, why don't you go to the chat box and give me a hello so that I know that you guys are there and everything is working fine. Hi, Abhishek. How are you? I'm doing very well. Yeah. How are you doing? So it's I think beginning of the week, right? So everybody is still raring to go. Correct? Oh, you're most welcome. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to always speak to others and share my thoughts and ideas. Yeah, hi Roshan, how are you? So we're going to give like a couple of minutes for everybody else to join in. So 5 o'clock is a tricky time, right? So it is towards the end of the day, but it is still not end of the day for some people. So a lot of us are rushing, to finish off our work before we log in at 5. So let's give them like 2 minutes. Who else is there? Why don't you say hello so that we can at least get to know each other while the late Latifs are coming in? And where are you guys joining in from? Which city are you joining in from? So I'm joining in from Delhi. And now I think the last 60-second countdown is there, and then we'll just shut the doors and then we'll kick off. All right. So, all right. So good. Bhavesh is here. Dr. Chandra Kumar is also here. Roshan, Abhishek. Good stuff. Where are you guys joining in from? And what are you, Dr. Chandra Kumar? Doctor of, is it medicine or is it PhD? Hi, Sudarshan. How are you? So, normally I do my sessions late evening, like after 7 p.m., but I'm especially doing this earlier evening at 5 because I know most of us run off to IPL in the evenings, right? So, so therefore, we're kind of doing it a little bit earlier. All right. Yeah. Hi, Gokul Raj. Hi, Senzi. Hi, Rishi. All right. So fantastic. I think, yeah, it's time now. I think we should kick it off. Let me check if I'm supposed to wait. All right, so I think let's kick it off, guys. We are 5:05 now, so let's kick off the session. So welcome, guys. Welcome to a brand new live session, which is presented to you by Youth and powered by Wacom. So welcome to today evening session. My name is Geetika, Saigal, as you would be knowing, and the good part is that I'm not going to spend too much time talking about myself, because this session is all about you. All right, so this session is about you, and to share my ideas in terms of how the new world is changing, how the workplace and careers and what is required to make it big in our career these days is changing in the so-called new world. I know we've all been talking about the new world, but it's really not that new. It is just that 2020, there have been some sudden changes in the world, right? And which has kind of put, showcased and also, increased the change, the speed of change that we have been feeling over the years. Otherwise, if you notice, change has been a permanent phenomena throughout human life and civilization. But now in the last few years, the speed of this change has been increasing a lot, right? So if you, I'd seen one data once, which said that it took 75 years, the telephone, the telephone which Mr. Graham Bell started, invented, it took 75 years to reach the first 50 million users, correct? And now, if a video is put on YouTube and it has to go viral, it takes just a few hours to reach the first few million users. So the world is changing very, very fast. And the question now has come down to, what will we do to change in order to adapt ourselves in it and not become like the dinosaurs who became extinct long back, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to keep the session short and crisp, guys, because I know it's end of day and all of us want to learn something, but at the same time get on with life in the evening. So therefore, I'm going to just share some thoughts in terms of how the skill scenario is changing and what kind of skills we now actually need to get ahead in our professions in the real world, right? Because now it's no longer enough to just have a college degree. It's no longer enough to just have one job. No job literally is safe these days. Would you agree with me? If you agree, then go right in the chat box, agree that no college degree is enough to secure and make sure that you are safe for your career. No job is safe. Not even businesses are bulletproof anymore, right? And they are floundering even to just survive. So therefore, we need a lot more. If you look at the formula for success, we need a lot more today, and it's becoming more and more complex than what it was 20 years back. Ki ek college ki degree pakdo and you can then start off. All right. So what I'm going to do is I've put together a few slides so that I can take you through the slides and share my thoughts via them as well. So I'm going to shift to that. Yes, Satya agrees with me. Absolutely. Bang on. Thanks, Satya. So I'm going to switch to the presentation. And if you can just, I hope you can see this. And if you can just quickly write over there PPT in the chat box, that's like a technical check, right? That everything is working fine and you can see me down there in the corner as well as the PPT. So just write PPT in the chat box. So guys, here's how we're going to do the session, okay? Whenever I say go and interact with me in the chat box, you bloody well do that. The reason is because otherwise I will feel that I'm speaking into a laptop screen rather than this amazing group of people that you are here today. Okay, so if you want your presence to be felt, then you have to make yourself seen. All right, that's how it works in the world, correct? So you have to go over there and join Satya while he's interacting with me. Tenzi, Satya, all right, good stuff. So welcome to soft skills at the workplace, right? Contrary to what you would be expecting, I'm not going to take you in a boring way through the top 5 skills that are required or the top 10 skills that are required. Because honestly speaking, you can easily browse the internet and, just Google for what are the top skills required, and सबसे पहले ऊपर आपको दिखेगा World Economic Forum. Okay, World Economic Forum has said this, McKinsey has said this, BCG has said this. So you really don't need much to figure out in terms of what is really going to be required in the new world. But I'm going to give a different spin to the talk so that the message actually goes across, and also you know what next steps to take after that, correct? Because at the end of the day, no session, okay, no session makes any sense, even if you learn something out of it, if you cannot implement it in your real life, right? Learning is great, but it's really still a big zero unless you apply the learnings in your life. So we're going to talk about that also in an end. So here goes. So stay with me for the next 30-35 minutes, and then I'm going to open up and answer any questions which you have at the end. All right. So at the end of the session, I'll give you an opportunity, okay, which is going to be really exciting. And at the same time, I'm going to be answering any kind of questions which you have in mind in terms of career, in terms of profession, in terms of tough choices in life, and so on and so forth. All right. So if it sounds good, then write over there in the chat box, ready. If you're ready, write ready. Okay. All right, so let's look at this slide. What does the slide say? I suppose a lot of you will see yourself in the slide. That's the guy who's doing BCom, that's the guy who's doing CA, and that's the guy, well, the famed engineer. This is what most of us look like. I know hopefully all of you will be through this stage now and maybe working, right? But at some point of time, this is what all of us actually look like, right? When we were going through it. Some of us even went to B school, right? Business school, and we did our MBAs, or some of us might be wanting to do our MBAs. And this is really how the life of a real MBA student is, okay? The first box shows how your friends see you, because you're never seen by your friends. How your family sees you, always broke without money. You, of course, are always screaming and looking for money, okay? The professors think that you're always just partying, right? You, of course, see yourself suited, booted, as if you were the, starring in Suits or some nice program like that. But in reality, the box that we are all in is the sixth box, that poor girl with her head on the laptop. That's what real life is once you start working usually. All right. So this is a quick reality check. Okay. Now, where will this take us? All of us have some professional degree or the other, or we pick it up along the way and things like that. Correct. But where does this take us in life? This usually takes us to where this nice fellow is now at this juncture in life. What is this nice fellow? Obviously, he's a very smart guy. He must be an engineer. He understands all serious technicalities, even of heat transfer, but still he burns his popcorn. Correct? What does that mean? That means it's not enough to just arm yourself with degrees in the real world. Okay, because degrees in the real world will only give you one basic layer of foundation. However, they will not arm you with what is really truly required for you to succeed in life. Okay, and success in life, success at work, in the workplace requires a lot of other things rather than just the one degree which we all of course have. The people who are able to understand and this one important concept in life and then maneuver their life path so that they pick up all the important skills along the way, they are the ones who actually reach their destination. Okay, so this is जिसको कहते हैं ना जिंदगी का एक सच. अगर ये समझ लोगे तो आगे बढ़ जाओगे, और अगर नहीं समझ पाओगे तो then you will be like that girl in the photo with her head on the laptop, and you will be running. You will be running faster and faster every day, and still feeling that you are not getting anywhere. Have you ever got that feeling that you're working really hard, that you're trying really hard, but somehow life is not taking you anywhere? Have you had that feeling? If you've had that feeling, write over there in the chat box, feeling. Okay. If you've also felt that feeling that you're trying, working, running really hard, but you're not getting to the destination. And the reason for that would be because it's not enough to just run. You have to run the right way after learning all the skills, right? So last year, this was in 2019 now, last year, entrepreneur.com, which is one of the, as you would know, one of the most prestigious platforms for, well, entrepreneurs, correct? They published an article that I had written. Okay, so they published an article that I had written, and what had I written in that article? I had written what we wish we would have learned in school. Okay, so I actually listed down what all we learned in school, how it does not help us, and what it is really in life that makes us successful. And of course, that got published in entrepreneur.com. So quickly, before I tell you about the soft skills, about what is the secret sauce, if you ask me about success, what is the secret sauce of success which you need to do, okay, and which you need to incorporate in order to crack and become successful in life. Before that, let me just give you a 2-minute introduction of myself. All right. So are you game for it? If you are, then write intro, INTRO, okay, in the chat box. Okay. So, well, meet me. Okay. So my name is Geetika Saigal. I'm a global corporate leader, turned entrepreneur, turned writer, speaker, and success coach. And I'm now on a mission. What is that mission? That mission is to help you help yourself. Okay, very simple, 4 words: help you help yourself. That means I'm not there to give anybody any solutions in life. Okay, I'm just here to empower people with all the knowledge, skill set, mindset that they require in order to become successful in their life. I want to empower people, not just help people or give them, answers to their life on a platter, because that is not how life works, right? So I've worked actually for like donkey years, more than 2 decades now. So like 22 years to be precise. And I took a very smart decision very, very early on in my career. This is even before 2000. Okay, we are in 2020 right now. So even in the year 2000, I've been working from the 90s. Okay, and I took a very smart decision. I had 3 job offers after my MBA, and I went in for the one which sounded the weirdest one, which is something called, it was a job offer from an industry which was called internet industry in those days. So the word digital had not even come in. Okay, so I joined that because I was enamored, and I couldn't figure out what the hell it was, and I wanted to get into something which I didn't know. Right, and that was one of the bestest decisions of my life, of getting into something that I had absolutely no idea in, because as we know, the digital world has completely disrupted in the last 20 years, and I've had the good fortune of being an insider in that industry. Okay, however, I gave up my corporate career midway after 14-15 years, because even though it was going amazing, it stopped giving me a kick. All right. And it was a very bold decision. Everybody thought that, I had lost it. However, I decided to become an entrepreneur and give up my career at that time. After a few years, I also gave up that career. I shut down my company. And for the first time in my life, I had literally nothing to do. Okay, so after about working for so many years, I had literally no job, no career, no team, no salary, even no money in the bank. I had lost crores of rupees. And that's when I rediscovered myself. Okay, so I told myself I'm going to start from scratch again, and again do everything which I don't know. And let's see what else there is more to Geetika than what even I know. And that's a very bold, but that's a gamble which paid off. Okay, and I wrote my first book, which became an Amazon #1 bestseller. And I started getting invited to lots of talks to come up and share about both my success and failures with people. And therefore, I've had the good fortune of being called to TED stage, not once, not twice, but actually 5 times, which is, I think, maybe 5, 6, 7 people in the world have been managed to, being called as 5 times by TED. And the best part about that is that, TED calls you not for any kind of achievements, but TED calls you when you have brilliant ideas to share with the world. And so that's been my journey. I now, of course, go and talk to a lot of corporates, a lot of institutes, a lot of panels about how to actually turn around your careers and put fuel in your careers and become successful in them. So that's what I do. And this is my core competence, which I bring forward to the world. Yeah, but at the heart of it, I'm a business person. Okay, I have grown businesses by over 2,000 crores in my career. I worked for 22 years across the globe, and finally, in fact, the last TED talk that I was invited to, I was called upon stage to discuss my success formula. So instead of giving a talk, I converted success into a mathematical formula and shared it with them, right? And it's an interesting 6-factor formula. If you get the chance, go on the TEDx channel and you can check out, the mathematical formula that I have for success. It's S plus A minus N divided by F raised to the power M and into P. I will not get into it right now because I guess we will deviate from the session then. However, if you want, you can go check it out later. So here we are, guys. So what is it that is required to crack it in the new world? So that was, of course, my introduction part, and that is now done away with. So now we're going to focus on you. All right. This is how we all start. And this is also exactly where I started, what they call the rat race. Okay. And this is not my picture, but it could have been my picture, because this is what we all start off with. We all start off with competing. We believe that we have to compete and get ahead in the rat race. But here are a few things that I will share with you through my career as well, which I've learned, which I believe make you much, much more successful than what you actually think. And the first thing that I learned was that this rat race is a myth. Okay, this whole thing about competing with the rest of the world and getting ahead is a myth. And if you really want to be successful in life, then the skill that you need to first learn is the skill of self-appreciation, and to understand that you are already number one and so is everybody. Okay, so if you want to get successful in life, you have to understand this very important skill of teamwork. Okay, most people focus on competing, and that is why they get caught up in the rat race. And rats move like this. Rat will never go like that. Okay, so remember that. If you want to really go ahead, then you have to use the power and the momentum which comes from which comes from a team. And that's something which I learned very earlier in my career. Even if you're going for any kind of interviews or new jobs, organizations, and especially in the new world now, they are looking for people who have the ability to collaborate. So one of the top most skills, which is actually required for you to flourish in the new world is the soft skill, or the skill of collaboration, the skill of teamwork, and people who are able to work cohesively with others. Okay, so always remember in this formula, it is absolutely always correct. 2 plus 2 is equal to 22. Okay, when it comes to the professional world, 2 plus 2 is always equal to 22. When you have the power of the team behind you, right, then growth becomes exponential. It doesn't grow like that. The teams, the ventures, the companies start growing exponentially, and you yourself start going exponentially. So that's the first most important skill which all of us should adapt. And if at any point of time in the competitive world you feel confused in terms of what you should be doing, always ask yourself, what would a leader do in such a situation? And believe me, a real leader will never shoot other people down in order to get ahead. He will take everybody along with him and make other people also believe in what they are doing. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, write over there, collaboration, or write team. Team is a simpler word. Write team. Okay, teamwork, collaboration. Write over there TEAM, so that I know that you've understood this first skill, which is extremely important. Okay, what is the second thing that is important? The second thing that one needs to realize is that, what happens every Friday? Every Friday, I meet my friends from the corporate world. All of them are cribbing. Okay, it's the same Friday evening every time. Everybody is doing well and everybody is unhappy. So guys, you have to remember this, that if you want to be truly successful, okay, then please start, instead of listening to the world in terms of what you should be doing in life, you have to start looking inward and start making choices which come from yourself and are about who you are and what you will be good at. Okay, do not go by what is trending always. Okay, because if we go by just what is trending in the world, we will all be doing cryptocurrency. Am I right? Right? So you have to go by what you are good at and what you have a passion for. Okay, and that is why always ask yourself, why am I in this career? Okay, whenever you understand why, right? If you're in medicine, then why are you in medicine? If you're doing an MBA, why the hell are you doing an MBA, right? If you want to work on the HR side, why? Why do you want to work on the HR side? Is it that you want happier people at work? Is it that you want to come up with workplaces that, look at your all-round skill building? What is it? You have to understand the why, or the mission, or the purpose behind the career that you're choosing. Otherwise, what would happen? Anybody recognizes this guy? If you do, write the name over there, okay? It's a movie character, right? And this poor guy, of course, if you remember the movie, then somewhere during the movie, he lost his jisko kehte hain na, passion, and he used to go around screaming, where did my mojo go? So if you guys just aimlessly start following careers or career paths, like in the first slide, engineer banna, BCom karna, ye karna, ye karna, ye karna, without even thinking why, then you will end up like this poor chap. Okay, and I'm waiting to see who recognizes this guy. All right. So therefore, don't be like that sad guy who lost his mojo. Be like this guy who actually found his mojo, right? Because when you find your mojo, then you really know why you are in that line, and you will become much more successful in that line. Okay. It is a simple formula. If you keep doing the shit that you are willing to take any amount of shit for, then you will be great at that shit. It's a simple formula. It's a simple fact of life. Okay? If you keep doing the work which you don't want to do, you will never excel in it. However, if you do work which really, charges you up, then you will do well. Because by default, no work is easy. All work is difficult. So it's not about which easy work to use. It's about choosing which difficult path do you want. All paths are difficult. Remember that. Which is the difficult one that you want to go for? All right. So that's the thing, right? The third soft skills. What is the third skill that you actually require to go ahead in life? The third skill comes something from even childhood. Remember, everybody used to say, mom is always right. Okay, till date, people tell me mom is always right. And that is true. Why? Because, right, it matters what other people think. Remember, our parents, or especially our mothers, keep telling us, don't do this because dunya kya kahegi, log kya kahenge. Now, everybody will tell you that, hey, Geetika, the world is saying, don't bother about what people are saying, do your own thing. But there is a difference, okay? And understand this difference if you want to do well in life. You have to consider what other people think about you, okay? Why? Because what other people think about you actually becomes your personal brand. The way the world perceives you is actually your brand. So what others think does matter. It's actually called branding. Okay. And this is an extremely important skill in the new world. People who are good at creating personal brands will be the ones who will flourish. Understand this, that, studies are now showing that, a huge chunk of the Fortune 500, in fact, up to 40% of the top Fortune 500 companies in the world are going to collapse by the year 2025. That is what studies are now showing. That 40% of the top companies in the world might collapse in just 5 years. And that means 375 million people will be joining back the job force, okay? Because they need to now learn new skills and get new jobs. So you can understand how bloody competitive the market is going to get. So how will you stand out in that marketplace? Okay, the way to stand out in the marketplace in the future is for you guys to start developing your own identity, which you have to do right here, right now. And that is called developing a me brand or developing a personal brand. Okay, that is your identity. So start understanding who you are, what your mission, what your vision in life is. Like if somebody asks me, Geetika, what are you doing in life? I know what I'm doing in life. 4 words. I'm helping other people to help themselves. Simple. That's my vision in life. So when you step out tonight after this session, okay, spend a little time, whether it's Saikat, Sailesh, Ravi, Satya, Sisir, Amit, Abhijit, Shivam, whoever, right? All of you and each and every one of you sit down for 10-15 minutes and try to do some self-reflection in terms of what is it that you want to be known for after 10-20 years. Okay, and then start to build your personal brand, start to build your activities in that area, right? Become passionate about what you want to be known for and start creating your own identity. And that is what is going to help you stand out from the rest of the crowd. You cannot compete with people anymore. You have to show the value and what you bring to the table. So developing this personal brand, if the people who understand this are the people who are going to go ahead. It's a very, very strong, very, very unique, very, very life-changing skill that you can possess. All right. Now, what is the 4th one? Obviously, everything is not going to go right. And at many points now in the new world, one of the most important skills, guys, is decision making. Why? Because the new world is going to get more and more and more complex. Okay, that means the people who are able to take best decisions, better decisions in a world which is complex and in a world which is ever changing are the ones who will get ahead. Okay, earlier kya hota tha? It was easier to make decisions. Markets were a little bit static. They were not moving very fast. So your information set was given and you just needed to compare and see which decision will be best for the company or best for myself. Now the world is changing so fast that it is difficult to predict the future. So therefore, decision making becomes a very, very important skill which all employers, all interviewers, all top leaders, all entrepreneurs, all freelancers, everybody needs to have. Okay, you take about 100 or so decisions every day, scientists say, and some of them are of course extremely important, right? So therefore, people who are able to take good decisions in today's uncertain world will be the ones who will get ahead. Okay, how do you do this? Okay, you develop this by having the guts to take more and more decisions. It's simple, right? People say that, you know, have your intuition. Some people have a great intuition, some people have a great gut feeling, correct? But where does this gut feeling come from? This gut feeling is just a muscle, and you need to train that muscle just like you train the muscles of your body, also. So that means you have to learn to keep taking decisions by starting to take decisions. That is the only way that you learn. Okay, the more and more decisions you take, the more and you will understand what is right, what works, what doesn't work, and things like that. So that means you have to start building context, which means that if you really want to get ahead in life from now on, then it's important to start reading more, to start experimenting more, to start observing more, experiencing more, doing all of the things outside of work as well. So what you do outside of work actually impacts how you will be at work. Okay. So people who experience a lot in life, who go out and get into do other activities, who read books about other people, who observe other people's lives, who go for bungee jumping, who do other things and experience, bold stuff in life, are the ones who become better managers also at the end of the day. Okay, because the more you do all this, the more experience you will gather, and you will automatically be developing your intuition. What is intuition? Intuition is just a muscle. So you have to use it. Okay, right? What is the thing? We're nearing the end now. So what is the thing? What is the other thing which really helps you get ahead, right? You have to understand one thing. Most of us, in order to get ahead, what are we looking for? We are looking for opportunities. Okay, but here's the thing, guys. Opportunities and these big breaks in life, or these lucky breaks, they never come just like that on a platter. Okay, the big breaks always come in things that within obstacles or within problems. That is why I follow this concept of OTO. Right over there in the chat box, OTO. That means obstacles to opportunities. Okay, only when you go after tough things, only when you go after obstacles, will new opportunities start opening up to you. If you keep sitting in the same place, keep doing the same things, keep going after the goals which you have been given. If you sit in an office and say, oh, this is my KRA, I have to do these 3 things, I will only do that, then you're already predicting what tomorrow will be, what your career will look like. And believe me, it will not become bigger. If you want your career to explode, okay, then you have to do something transformational. You have to go beyond your goals. You have to start thinking out of the box. You have to do extra than what is expected of you. Okay? If you do just what is asked of you, then you will get just what they want to give. Correct? Because that was expected of you. So therefore, if you want more from the organizations, more from the world, more success, then you also have to give more than just your KRA. Correct? Good. Raghavendra understands it's OTO, guys, not P. Obstacle to T, right? Obstacle to opportunity, OTO, right? So Ashish, Dheeraj, Saigal, Aditya, right? Okay, therefore go beyond, right? So start thinking out of the box and go beyond what is expected of you. That is very important, right? So stop trying to do just what is expected of you, and then you start seeing your world becoming larger and larger. Which is why I tell people, please don't wait to become a CEO to start thinking like a leader. Understand this. Each one of you is already a CEO. Raghavendra, Ashish, Satya, Ashish, Aditya, Sekat, all of you are CEOs. You know which company? You. You are the CEO of your life. Okay? So you have to start running your life as if you were the CEO of it, and that is your company. Right? So you have to follow this principle. Start thinking like a CEO. And start working like an intern. Intern क्या करता है? बेचारा सब कुछ करता है. सारे गंदे से गंदे काम भी करता है. Right? Like that guy in the picture. So work doubly hard, but start thinking strategically like a CEO. Okay? So therefore, when you combine these 2 things, you become really super successful in the long run in life. Okay? One of the most important secrets to success is failing. Okay, the more you fail, the more the probability of your success. That is why when a lot of people come and tell me that, Geetika, I'm very heartbroken. I failed at this. I couldn't do this. Meri ye business nahi chali. Mera ye ho gaya. Mera wo ho gaya. I keep telling them, hey, that's great. Why is that great? That's great because you have to understand that failing is different and falling is different. When you are not able to do a task, you just fallen a little bit, you have to get up. If you don't get up, if you don't learn anything from that, then you have failed. Okay? So that is why I tell people there is no concept of failing. Okay? Either you succeed or you learn. Right? Failing is a choice. You decide when you have failed. Okay? When you learn nothing from your experience, that is when you have failed. So therefore, please try more and more in life to try out things. Okay, stop fearing from taking action. That is your biggest failure. If you don't act, if you don't take decisions, if you don't take risks, that is your failure. Okay, not achieving any particular task or dream or whatever. Correct? Because you can always learn and move on to the next one, right? So start wearing your failures proudly. When people ask me to talk about my life, I tell them about all the times when I goofed up, right? Why? Because they are the interesting times. They taught me something. Success, guys, is a byproduct, okay? But failure surely shows the metal that you have been through. So you have to understand that this is not like a linear graph. Life never goes like this, okay? Life always goes like this, correct? Therefore, you have to have the guts and you have to try new stuff, because the regret of not trying is always greater than the regret of following. जब आप मर जाओगे ना, जब आप मर रहे होगे, तो आप ये नहीं याद रखोगे कि वाह मेरे भी अच्छे दिन थे. आपको वही याद आएगा कि मैंने ये क्यों नहीं किया. That's called regret. Okay, that's what we remember in our last few moments, or at least that's what I'm told. So therefore, please do not have regrets in life and ask yourself, am I falling enough? अगर आप fall ही नहीं कर रहे हो enough, मतलब आप try ही नहीं कर रहे हो. Okay, if you don't try, then you have already failed. Okay, so therefore keep trying. All right, and the last one, guys, this is extremely important. Okay, this is one of the best leadership mantras that I can give you ever. All right, getting busy is not the secret to success. Getting clarity is the secret to success. Okay, so a lot of people sometimes they ask me, you're looking very chill. Are you not working? And I tell them, what are you talking, ma'am? I'm working my butt off. But that doesn't mean that I'll have to be confused and busy all of the time, because I know how I'm supposed to work, how I'm supposed to breathe during the day, and how I'm supposed to achieve my goals without going mad, right? So therefore, don't get busy, get clarity. Top leaders, especially in the new world, it's going to be really tense. If you don't understand this art of work prioritization, okay, then you can never get ahead. So remember, please do not be like, just a horse that you're given a task and then you start running out of it. You have to learn the art of not just time management, not just productivity, but more importantly, of focus. Of what to put your focus on what tasks to prioritize. If you learn the art of focus, the art of concentration, the art of mindfulness, the art of not getting distracted, the art of knowing what is more important to you in life and then going after that. Even if you don't do 10 other things, it doesn't matter. That is one of the top skills to have these. The ability to prioritize tasks, the ability to know what is important, and the ability to develop crazy hawk eye focus. Okay, that's one of the best skills to have, the skill of clarity. And believe me, if you start developing skills on a regular basis, that is what is going to help you not just survive in the new world, but actually thrive in the new world, right? All of us right now are just thinking in terms of survival mode. Hi, 2020 से कैसे निकले, कब खत्म होएगा 2020? But here's the thing, guys, 2020 खत्म हो जाएगा, right? But challenges कभी नहीं खत्म होंगे. Challenges हमेशा बढ़ेंगे. The world will get more and more complex, correct? So you have two choices. Either you can go mad in trying to get there, or you can become smart in how to get there. And the way to get there is to continuously learn. Continuously learn more skills. It's great. I am not devaluing college degrees. College is great. मैंने भी economics honors करा है, MBA करा है, बहुत अच्छा करा है, अच्छी बात है कि करा है. That also taught me a lot. But that's no longer enough, right? It's no longer enough even to just pick up skills like hard skills, like doing a digital marketing course, doing this, doing that. All of that is great. However, you need a lot of soft skills these days, which will help you to get ahead in life. Okay, because now it's all becoming about who are you as a person, what is the entire package that you get to the table. बाकी सब चीजें ऐसे ऐसे सीख सकते हैं, 1000 ऑनलाइन कोर्स मिल जाएंगे, सर्टिफिकेशंस मिल जाएंगे, डिग्रीज मिल जाएंगे, ठप्पे मिल जाएंगे to teach you what you need to learn. But the more important thing that will make you stand out in this cluttered space and arm you with what is required to get ahead in the new world will be by building your emotional intelligence and learning all the soft skills that are required in order to get ahead. Soft skills, guys, will be like thinking critically, logical reasoning, how to work within teams, how to understand the art of productivity, how to manage your time well, how to think like a leader, how to take complex, difficult decisions, right? How to become a great public speaker, how to learn the art of communication or writing correctly. So these are the skills that you need to start now looking at and incorporating so that you become an overall rounded person, because that is what the world needs and that is what you need in order to get ahead in the real world. Okay, and if you don't do that, then what will happen? Life will still go on, but you will be drifting through it. Correct? There is a saying that even a dead piece of wood will drift in a river, because the force of the river will take it along, right? But it's still a dead piece of wood. Okay, so if you want a remarkable life, which I really want for all of you, and I know that you can get it, then you don't just have to drift through life, you have to start swimming, okay, through that river. So therefore, just remember all of these things which I have shared with you. Stop competing, start collaborating, be true to yourself, find your vision, your passion, start focusing on yourself and building a brand, your personal B brand, which will help you stand out from the rest. Start taking more risk and start doing more things outside of your job in order to hone your gut, because that's a muscle and will make you better decision makers and arm you with leadership skills. Don't just be constrained by what you have to do, but think big and go beyond your goals and embrace new opportunities. Please do fail, because failure will teach you so much more than what success will, because success is just an outcome. And stop just, writing to-do lists. So tonight when you go home, I want you to write a to-be list. ये नहीं कि क्या करना है, but क्या बनना है, right? When you write a to-be list, your to-do list will automatically come from that. So it's not about getting busy by doing lots of things. It is important about getting clarity in terms of what you should focus on and what you should do. So Abhishek is asking, have you ever faced criticism during your work? If yes, can you describe the details of a time when you were unfairly criticized? So it doesn't matter, about unfairly criticized, Abhishek. Unfairly is just a feeling. Okay, criticism is a different thing. Unfairly is just a feeling. You feel you are unfairly criticized, whereas the other person will not feel that they are being unfair to you. So the concept of unfair, it is a very gray concept. It can be interpreted in different ways. But the concept of criticism is something which you need to understand. So the way that I deal with criticism in the workplace, Abhishek, is that, see, you have to look at it practically, right? So if I try to look at it unemotionally, so whenever somebody criticizes me, I know we get very emotional and we go on the defensive about it, which one shouldn't. So what one should look at it is, look at it dispassionately, as if this was not about me. If it was somebody else, then how would you look at that criticism? Will it still make sense? Right? Because then you're not getting personal about it. If it still makes sense, you should learn from it, incorporate it, and become better. Because this is an opportunity. Believe me, nobody comes perfect. Okay, we all have to learn. So then you learn from that criticism. It's called constructive criticism. And you learn from it and become better. And be glad that you got that criticism. If, however, looking at it dispassionately and practically, you feel that it is incorrect or unjustified, or like you're saying unfair, then you stand up for it. But the way that you stand up against it is that you don't go on the defensive. Okay, you try to explain a different thought process and why that thought process is better. See, हम क्या करते हैं ऑफिस में, कोई कुछ बोलता है and then we don't agree with it and we start defending ourselves. Don't defend yourselves. Instead of defending yourselves, give an alternative and say, shall we also evaluate this alternative? I know you think that I am doing this wrong, but what if I do it like this? Then this will happen. So now what are you doing? You are not attacking the other person back. Right? You might feel the person is attacking you, but you are not attacking. You are just laying down a logical alternative. And when you give a logical alternative, then that person will be forced to logically evaluate it also. Okay? So don't get into a heated defensive mode discussion. Okay? Present your viewpoint as an alternative and then see how it goes. It will be much calmer. Everybody will be forced to discuss it, and other people will also join in probably to help you out. All right? So, therefore, go beyond what you are thinking today, and that is when you will find your G-spot in life. Why do I call it G-spot? Because, well, that's the name of my book, Finding Your G-spot. If you have time, you can go to Amazon and check it out as well. So what is Shivam asking me? Can you tell me about a time when you successfully led a team through a sticky situation? I think I've been doing that forever in my life. I just once, Shivam. So I think as managers, as leaders, that is what we are ultimately paid for. We are paid for managing situations. Correct? The situations, there have been so many. If there have been tough customer situations, there have been, there have been situations where this was even, very, very early in my career. Okay. I didn't even have a team reporting to me. I was like, I think 25 years old or something. And, I was maybe 3 years into my career or something like that. And one of my largest customers, we used to sell large enterprise solutions, right? That entire server room, the entire connectivity, his whole communication with all his offices all across the world went down because of us, right? So I remember I knew that at that point, I had, of course, I had done everything at the back end of my organization in order to start getting the problem rectified. However, we didn't know how long it would take. It could take hours. It could take 24 hours. The customer was going berserk. There was absolutely nothing else that I could have done in order to help that customer out. It was a very large organization. I can't take names, but it was a very large IT organization. And you know what I did? It's very silly. It will sound silly, but however, I was the account manager for that account, okay, the salesperson. And I literally refused to go home from their office, okay? My entire, of course, team and organization were working on rectifying the technical glitch. However, I spent the night in their office with their entire technical team and the customer support team, who were taking a lot of heat from all of the people across the globe and their offices because their systems were down, and I refused to go home. Now, I was not contributing. I just kept sitting there quietly in a corner. Okay, I was not contributing, but I felt like I have to be there with my customer. Okay, so that they know that, ye log kaam kar rahe hain hamare liye. Now, somebody might say, you're not adding value, but then I felt that I am adding value by giving them the reassurance that, hey guys, even we are not sleeping if you are not sleeping, right? So that is that sometimes it was a very sticky situation. There's nothing that we could do about it. However, I did whatever I thought I could by going out of the day and doing something crazy, like just sitting there the whole night, right? Yes, Dr. Chandra Kumar, you can ask me whatever comes to your mind, definitely. Dheeraj is saying, hello, ma'am, it's a really nice session. Are you planning to do another session soon? So, well, yes. In fact, right after the session, I'm doing a session for my U Unlimited community. So I keep doing a lot of sessions for my own community. And for outsiders, like, today we tied up with the youth and with Wacom, right, to bring this webinar to you. So that I do from time to time. So Abhishek is asking, how do you approach a task that you've never done before? Right. How do you do a task that you've never done before? So one is go with it with an open mind. Second, research the possibilities of what it can do for you. Okay, we normally get into new tasks by just looking at the features, right? But when we do any skill or task, we always should relate it to how is it helping our life, or how is it enhancing our work life or personal life, right? So always look at it in terms of what it can do for you, and then go about in a structured approach. So thinking should be out of the box, whereas execution should be structured. That is how I apply, go about learning anything new or doing anything new. Right. Also, while you guys are here, I would love to, introduce you to Wacom as well. And, Wacom is a brilliant company, and it brings some really cutting edge, amazing products, which you should definitely, explore, whether it's for doing your office work or whether especially for doing work from home stuff. So I would encourage all of you to go through their website, Wacom, W-A-C-O-M, okay, Wacom.com, and see what amazing products they have for you. They're extremely interactive and easy to use, very intuitive, and so definitely go through them, and they will enhance your, your productivity. They will also enhance the way that you communicate. So essentially all these products help you communicate better. Like if you're giving presentations, if you're discussing documents, if you're brainstorming with people across the world or in your teams scattered everywhere and connecting with them digitally through meetings and Zoom meetings and stuff like that, then it is a brilliant collaboration tool, and it will really help you to communicate much, much better. So you must try it out. So just check out Wacom.com and do try it out, guys. Cicero is asking, how can you test a candidate's soft skills during an interview? So if you want to test somebody's interview, soft skills in an interview, you typically, Cicero, ask behavioral questions. So you know what behavioral questions are? Behavioral questions are like open-ended questions which are situation-driven. So you ask people, what would you do in this situation, right? If you had a project for which you were running late, how would you go about it? How would you explain to the customer that you guys are going to give it late? So these are situational or behavioral questions. Now, how the candidate answers it will show the candidate's skills, soft skills, emotional intelligence, decision-making skills, his or her communication skills, and lots of other problem-solving skills which you want to assess. So behavioral questions, Cicero, are how you can, a very good way of assessing somebody's soft skills in an interview situation. All right. Ashish is saying, what's the best way to make decisions when working on a group project? So on a group project, the most important thing is to do a stakeholder analysis, Ashish. So what is stakeholder analysis? Stakeholder analysis is to see who all have a stake within this decision making, correct? So in group decisions, there are two things which can happen. One is there are too many people involved and the decision never gets taken, or there are too few people involved, which means not all the important stakeholders have been involved. So therefore, you don't make the best of decisions. So therefore, stakeholder analysis is important to ensure that all the right people, first of all, are involved in the decision-making process. Okay? So ना फालतू के लोग चाहिए और ना important लोगों को miss करना चाहिए, right? So that is the most important starting point. When you create the right team, then the right things will start flowing. After that, you just need to figure out a way of communication which ensures that everybody is able to express their ideas and thoughts. And also, you should know who is wearing what hat, right? So everybody cannot be a decision maker, right? Somebody should be taking a final decision, after the evaluation process. Correct? That is extremely important. So everybody should be able to think out of the box, okay, contribute without fear, and at the same time do their part of the job and not, interfere with other people doing their job in the decision making. Shivam is saying it's a really wonderful session. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys, I think it's time now to take your leave. We're now at 6:20. So any last question or any last thoughts on how the session was? Like Shivam has liked it, so you can just share with me here, right? And if at any point you want to reconnect with me, then I can share with you my email ID. It is imgeetikasaigal@gmail.com. I am Geetika Saigal @gmail.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's G Storytime. That's my Instagram handle. Okay. And if you want to catch me on LinkedIn, then I'm Geetika Saigal. If you want to catch me anywhere else, YouTube or wherever, then, you can just write Geetika Saigal. All right. So that's the way to connect to me. And if you really want to get into a tighter community with me, then you have the link with you. We will still accept if you work, on the enrollment anytime, even later on in the evening. So if you have any questions about the program You Unlimited, you can WhatsApp to my team. The WhatsApp number is 8375009852. Please do not call. They don't pick up calls, but you can send up a WhatsApp number. This is the number of my support team. Okay. And they are just there to help you understand what, enrollment, payment, if you're having any trouble, things like that. So 8375009852. So that's my team's WhatsApp number. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining in. And it's been a brilliant evening. Thank you for the opportunity to connect with all of you. I hope that I've been able to share some of my thoughts. Always, the bottom line, if I just had to sum it up, is that it's great to pick up all the hard skills and the skills that you will be required to do the job and your area of specialization. That is what I call, even from economics days, I did economics in college, the necessary condition. Okay, so that's the necessary condition. But what is the sufficient condition, which you need extra to make you successful in life? Those are all of the soft skills that you need to start developing so that you develop your leadership style and your leadership side as well. So thank you guys for joining in. Have a wonderful evening and stay connected. All right. So thank you you for organizing this, and thank you Wacom for sponsoring this, and see you guys again in the very near future. Cheers and all the best to you. Goodbye.